This might be the worst fun video that you see all week.
I got my lady. It's like so loud. He like looks up, runs over to his phone and turns.
Feel good, feel fine, feel the breeze, feel the sun.
All right, we're arriving now to the hunting location here in about 5 minutes.
I got my lady and she got me. Lie down, lie low. Yes,
Opening day is tomorrow morning. We're gonna see if we can go get an elk. Kaz, me, and Dad all have cow elk rifle tags. Let's see what we can do.
that hedgehog, he's my friend.
I just got a bag that was roasted within the last week.
All right, well, everyone's taken off. We're all hitting up. We're at 3 different locations to glass or scout. Got the tent set up. I'm actually gonna take the e-bike up the road, check for tracks crossing the road, see if some other people are camping nearby so that I know where someone might be, because there's some camp spots right where I wanna head out in the morning. But if they're camping right there, I don't wanna go park at their campsite or anything. Respect their space. So let's go adventure.
My lady and she got me. Hello, moonlight, where your stars? When you see 'em, give 'em my regards. I'm moving on.
This is night 1, and season starts small for rifle hunting. We are up at Bald Hill.
I haven't really done this before, but I figure like just going nice and slow on the e-bike, checking for tracks crossing the road, being quiet, being able to glass, maybe come up on something would be a good idea for scouting some new areas.
It's time to spot some elk.
All right, that's spot 1. No one's there, which is kind of cool because I've last year I hiked in there and we saw some elk going in right there. So let's keep moving. All right, my current plan is to start here in the morning and I'll work downhill. And the idea is that they're going to be on private, coming back up to public to bed. And so I'll maybe go a mile in, and then from there, hopefully they'll be coming up to me. That's the plan for the morning, unless I get some better information.
We are losing it, and we're back.
Check this out. Oh, well, that's actually creepy.
Yeah, I'm feeling tipsy. I'm on the move. We're getting frisky. We're in the groove.
Do a little trail running.
People are smiling, and the music is on fire.
Guess who I am?
The lights are turning me on, and they're lifting me higher. I wanna tell you that I feel alright.
Right here at the ridge is the first elk tracks I've seen, which is literally 100 yards from where Cass parked. Any luck?
Actually, I saw 2 mule deer.
Oh, nice.
Hey.
I went and rode past you, actually.
Today,
I saw
guys.
you.
Oh, you did see me?
Yeah, video.
Today, guys.
All right, be extra safe with your gun.
I will.
I'm gonna not even chamber one until I'm ready. Alrighty,
Alright.
crush it. I'll
Thanks.
maybe text or call you if I'm coming back up
Yeah,
here.
I had signal in the cut, so
Awesome.
have fun.
You too. All right, fellas. It's 5:48. That gives me, well, about an hour to get in and get set up. So I'm gonna try to get there before shooting light. So last year we were out here for 3 days for 4th rifle season. This year we're here for 1st rifle. So all the information I have is from last year. All of this was in snow. But on 4th season, they were feeding on private, and then they were coming up and bedding behind me on public. I don't know if they're in that rhythm a month and a half earlier, which is now. So the main goal this morning is to get eyes on something. That's why we all split up.
Went to the spot where Kramer shot one last year. Didn't see anything. And now we're heading back for some coffee. Yeah. And we're gonna hear from Kaz and Kramer within the next 2-3 hours, whenever they get back. And we'll make a game plan from there.
Yeah, we're hoping that somebody saw elk this morning,
Yeah.
and it wasn't us.
Uh-huh. It was not us. dad's pooping or something. I was thinking that maybe Kaz could reach out to some of his friends, like Mr. Skunk. And the Skunk family probably has some relatives up here in Colorado. And perhaps they could give us a hand in regard to the whereabouts of elk so that we aren't, per se, skunked. Oh, hey there.
Hey.
Welcome.
Thanks.
See anything?
I didn't see any elk.
But you saw something.
Saw a mule deer.
Nice.
Sometimes glassing for elk feels like you're doing an I Spy book, but instead of 10 items per page, you have one item to look for in the entire book, and you don't know which page it's on. And there's thousands of other items that look very similar to it, like rocks. Okay, I have not seen anything yet, but I'm gonna mosey over to another vantage point. I've only seen one set of elk tracks. Quarter mile this way, there's one more spot that I can kind of glass down into. It's a kind of a valley that feeds up into public with a creek. I've never been there before, so let's go check that out, scout it. Just walked up on a group of mule deer. They haven't seen me. Let's see if I can get some footage. There was just 2 gunshots. I don't know, I guess 400 yards that way. Spook the deer. I'm gonna kind of sit in this area and see if anything gets spooked up this way. Those mule deer were in the exact spot that I came to check out. So I might be able to see down towards where those gunshots were if I move a little further. Alright, just saw 2 hunters up on the top of the hill, about a half mile away, maybe a little more. That puts the total to 3 hunters this morning I've seen. Morning hunt's wrapping up now, except my walk back to camp. My prediction is that because there's no snow, the elk are higher. That's my prediction. With that said, I probably saw a sign of 4 fresh elk that have walked past in the past few days. Kaz is up 1,000 feet higher this morning. Interesting to see if he saw more sign. All right, well, their camp is. I'm walking in now. Let's see if they saw anything. See anything?
Saw some birds.
I wasn't sure if you got a shot because I heard a shot from your direction.
You heard a shot.
I heard 5 shots.
Really?
Yeah.
So if you have an idea of what direction that was, that's probably where the elk are.
Well, they were all on private. You guys good?
Oh yeah. Hey everybody. It is day number 1 of hunting. It's the evening hunt. And we are all in the same truck. We're all gonna go up to this thing. It's very high up.
It's called a,
What's
Called
it
a
called?
plata.
a butte.
We're going to the Plata Butte.
Some call it a plateau.
Elevation where we're at, we've been looking, there hasn't been a lot of signs, and so we're going further up and further in, as they say.
Ooh, C.S. Lewis.
We can cut this part out, but actually it was a reference to Kramer's technique for burying poop. And like
Further in.
it's earlier in the year this year,
Oh, okay.
and so we're thinking they're further up elevation wise. All right, well, thanks for joining us here at
There's a lot of deadfalls right in there. So
Action.
See you next time at Action.
sit and talk, I see your crying eyes turning red through the day. I share my mind with no censorship, hang it all out to dry. A teardrop's hanging from your upper lip, clinging on, afraid to...
Started raining. Started getting some hail. And some epic views. Yeah, let's work the ridge down. I think it's going to be way harder to go through the... Yeah, that's my best guess. I think it'll be a lot quicker.
How weather accustomed is this?
The beef was 30% liver and heart, 70% normal.
What was that? Look at this. Yeah. They're turret practicing. Good morning. It's still a bit before shooting light. I'm looking to go another mile in. Already been walking for about a mile. We're going to try out this area one more time, which is where I came opening morning. Kaz and Dad came with me and are setting up on some different meadows. And I'm gonna push in because I'd regret if I don't check out this really cool looking meadow. If we see nothing, we'll relocate the tents today and try to go find some elk because we haven't seen anything yet, but you never know. There was a little bit of sign in here, so we'll see. Made it to a tree and I'm actually gonna sit. Well, we'll see, but I plan on sitting for the next hour at least. Now I think this would be an epic 3rd or 4th season set, but right now, honestly, there's very little sign through here, and I just don't think there's big concentrations of elk living here right now. I think once the snow really hits, this is their territory. But unfortunately, I don't think this is it right now. I think the elk are hanging out together. They're probably having a really good time. But I think we've accidentally went to the ice cream shop in the winter when they're all at the hot cocoa stand. And so that's the plan today, is to move from the ice cream shop to the hot cocoa stand because it's winter time. And when you're cold, you want some hot cocoa. I was sitting in that pretty amazing location, but I did see more sign yesterday, kind of where Kaz and Dad sat up today. So who knows, with any luck, they might have saw something. Have a good set.
I ended up got a little cold because I set up first.
Yeah.
After 3 hunts, we're packing up, heading out, going to a new place. It's not been the best of elk sightings, and by that I mean we've seen none. So we're gonna, you know, as the motto goes, go further in and further up.
Relocated camp.
It's our first hunt in this new area. I want to say I have a good feeling about this, but there's no signs or anything necessarily. I think I'm going with Kaz.
Splitting up in 3 different areas to get a feel for the land, see if we can find any good sign. Okay, well, I'm stopping for a break. I just went through some really marshy stuff, so my feet are soaked, and I don't really see much sign.
Got some bear poop on this tree. I'm feeling more and more like I'm about to have a really good feeling about this hunt. Kind of feels like when you go through somebody's house and you throw away all their things, and you're like, this is their entire life. You just throw it in the garbage. 421.
We have 2.5 hours,
2.5.
so we can't shoot anymore.
Now that we're on track, let's hope there's not a buttload of deadfalls up here. I think we're gonna make it. Oh my goodness. It's an albino like ferret. I saw an adult one this morning. I think they're called martins. And that's a baby one. Are baby ones normally white? That was wild. Where Kaz and Kip are going. It's really good over there. And where my dad's going is in this massive bowl that I think could be overlooked. And then if I get there, I feel like I'm putting in a really good effort here. Nothing else, I'm likely the only one who's made it back here this year. But I've seen maybe just as much moose sign as elk. So who knows? I think the biggest challenge here is to stay warm for the next hour because it's kind of cold. This has been brutal. Okay, I just got to my spot. It took me an hour and 34 minutes to get here, which might be a little excessive for an evening hunt, unless we get one. But when I went up to go over the saddle, the uphill was easier than I thought it'd be, but then the downhill was awful. This will be one of those 3-hour walking, 1.5 hour sitting. But the good news is I'm in a secluded meadow, and if something comes in the meadow, I can definitely make a play on it. I also have a theory I've been thinking about, that each person who hunts has a threshold for intermittent rewards while hunting. And there's very few people who will just hunt indefinitely without having any success or seeing any animals. It's not fun anymore. And then other people, it could be 2 hunts, 5 hunts, 10 hunts. Like, how many hunts does it take of seeing nothing to just be like, that's it? This is hunt number 4. So far I haven't seen an elk, and I've covered more than a marathon. And like right now, my feet are completely drenched, soaking wet. It's 30 degrees outside, turning to ice. And then knowing I have this hike out is difficult, because it's like, how many difficult hard hunts am I going to do to not see any out? On the flip side, I just think of it as training for my upcoming ultra race. I'm just like, oh, an unexpected training session. We have technical terrain, 3 miles, night ops, a little bit of rock climbing. I don't know, just something I've been thinking about. Well, that's a wrap. Well, here we go. Walking through slosh. I'm gonna try to get back straighter. We can do this. I just can't feel my toes. This is where we're supposed to meet. So let's wait here. How was it?
It was chilly when we were sitting. We had a good wind spot, so it blew right at us.
So you saw nothing?
Yeah. What about you?
It's the worst hunt yet.
I'm excited for this evening hunt. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be real good.
I just stepped in some of that bog. I thought it was that deep, but I went all the way to my knee deep in just mud, and I was like stuck. I'm discouraged a little bit because that was the least amount of sign I've seen yet, and it was by far the hardest hike. I'm heading down behind the campsite to do a morning set. Dad and Kaz saw nothing last night. I saw nothing, but we're gonna try again. Alright, I'm set up now, and although I'm not confident as far as the amount of elk sign I've seen, there's this little rock nub that I popped on, but I needed an easier hunt this morning after going really hard for 2 days. So I'm trying to think about like what future me would do. Often when I get back from a hunt and I didn't have success, I'll be like, you know what we should have done? I'm trying to think of what we should have done from my future self and apply that today. And I definitely have a hard time sitting if I don't have much hope I'm going to see something. So I'm going to go try to find some sign. I might walk some ridges, a little valley. I don't have a destination. I'm just going to go really slow and just try to see how they move through this new territory. I'm going to go try to learn something is what I'm saying. Not wear myself out, but just go nice and easy. So I imagine they're probably just in an area hanging out, nibbling on something. That area is just not here. It's a good sign. Did you go further than you were telling yourself you're gonna go?
No, I stayed under 4 miles, but in the slog with big boots on, it is heavier to walk each step.
Yeah.
I did see a lot more sign than last night, at least, though.
Yeah, I saw some sign on the road right here, but I think I heard some bugles also.
Oh, that's cool.
My time has come to pass the baton. I think they've got 4 hunts left. 0 for 30. Every single mile Kramer's gone, he's seen 0 elk. Hopefully, from this point on forward, there's a plethora, herds and herds of elk. So here's the baton being passed.
Hey, if I get one, you have to cancel your flight and come help me.
Nah, I can see you because it was locked to my face. Okay. We'll do.
I guess that's goodbye, folks.
All right, folks. Dad took Kippy back to town so he can fly back. And me and Kaz are going out for our first hunt. Where Kaz heard a little barking bugles this morning. So we're going to go see if we can find those elk. Let's do this thing.
Let's do it.
Maybe a bunch of them got bumped this way. Me and Kaz are splitting up locations now. We've been walking for 2 hours, and ironically, the most sign was within a half mile of the road. So I'm coming over to this spot where Kaz heard the bugles this morning, and then he's in a bigger meadow. Mama moose and baby moose sign. So I'm trying to decide if I should stay right here. Part of me wants to come up here where I'll be able to see a little further. Yeah, my faith in seeing an elk is 0%. Where I'm at right now. Yeah, there's no chance. Like, what's going on? So confused. I could walk further and instead of big meadow, 250 yards. I could go back to camp and set that big meadow over there. And when you just see nothing over and over again, it makes you, it makes me want to just go home and hang out with the family and get back to work. Because the more responsibility I get in life, the less I enjoy these hunts where I'm not seeing much. With that said, I came down to this meadow. I'm just going to sit here for the next hour and a half till dark. And that's it. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to see nothing. And then I'm going to hike for 45 minutes out of here and go make a sandwich and go to sleep. Then probably get up in the morning and hike another 5 miles. That's really cool. I'm glad they're liking the new school environment already. This is officially the worst hunt as far as seeing animals we've ever been on.
You didn't see anything, hear anything?
No, I didn't see nothing, hear anything.
That's too bad.
Yeah, let's make some good dinner.
Let's do it. Grilled cheese.
Grilled cheese, and let's get the fire going. I'll bring the cart around. So you know the hunting's bad is all we're doing is getting pumped about grilled cheese. Big fire, here we come. Be up fire.
A great fire.
Good morning. Me and Kaz are driving a new road, glassing new spots, switching it completely up, and seeing if we can just get eyes on an elk,
so that we can make a play later. So I've got some big terrain. You can kind of see behind me. Kaz is checking out a location for 15 minutes, and I'm glassing up here for 15 minutes, and then we're going to meet back down and see what our next play is.
Ton of deer tracks. Quite a few elk tracks too.
Welcome to my tent. This is where I get all my sleep done. And we saw nothing this morning. We drove for a few hours and we glassed and we hopped out of the truck and looked at different places. And ooh, Cass saw a deer, no elk. Let's go try again. All three walk in a mile and then disperse and ambush them. Yeah. And now, yeah. The hunt begins. I'm in a spot. That's where I am. Where is it? Who knows? Middle of nowhere. I'm sitting in a little pinch point with 300 yards that way I can see to this cove of a meadow, and boom, I can see really long that way. Now, some of the better stuff I've seen coming in here, like as far as land and elk sign, but history would tell me that there's no hope we're going to see anything. But I hope hard work, perseverance, and continuing to hunt in different locations might prove me wrong. And I typically say our chances are pretty decent for something to come out for one of us. I have just a little less than 2 hours left to sit. This is the last evening hunt. What do the kids say? It's down to the wire. Except for the fact that we've seen nothing. But it would be epic. I'm trying not to be positive, but it would be epic if something comes out. Perfect scenario. 5 to 10 cow elk, a little group, comes out of that far corner of this meadow, kind of works our way towards me. Pew pew. Happy day, happy life, happy wife, because then we'll have some steaks. I got some signal yesterday and I called home, and my son said, "Did Daddy get an elk?" And I said, "Oh no, not yet." And he said, "Then why is he calling?" I feel you, Fletch, I feel you. I am so understimulated mentally. I need like a therapy session. I need like a bunch of candy and a high action movie or something. Might feel peaceful, and it is, but a long enough time, it's driving me crazy because my brain's not used to it. And that's why I'm talking to you, because I'm just bored. Like, I'm just Last year, in this unit, instead of first season, we hunted fourth season. The first morning I was here, I shot an elk, and we saw like 20 or 30 elk. Then we stayed to help Cass get an elk, and every day we saw elk. Every hunt except the one, we saw elk. And over the course of a 3.5 day hunt, we saw 400 or 500 elk, because they were herded up in these big groups of 100. And so coming into this hunt, my expectation wasn't that, but I thought we would see 5 or 10 here or there. I know it's earlier, they're not herded up, that's totally good, I expected that. But I didn't expect put in 20 hunts all over the place and get pooped. I did figure out one thing though, why we haven't seen any is because the elk are not where we're hunting. I would have bumped them in their beds, would have seen fresh sign. They're somewhere else though. It's just normally when I cover about 20 miles, I find them somewhere in those 20 miles. This time, not the case. 40 minutes left. 30 minutes left. 20 minutes. 10 minutes left. 0 minutes left. Did you shoot? Ah! A dead moose?
Yeah.
What? Was there any bullet wounds?
Maybe the coyotes wanted that and you were keeping them from coming in.
Nothing's really eating it, and it didn't look like it was shot. The only wounded spot is in its belly.
Well, look in that wound. Did it get a
You think I got a gut shot?
an antler right there? I was assuming
Oh, an infection maybe.
Or are those broken ribs?
And that was our last hunt. Kaz ended up calling the department about this moose, and it turns out a bear hunter had already reported it. The warden went out there, hiked into the mountains, checked out the moose, and determined that it died from fighting with another moose and had a wound in its gut and its neck, just like my dad said. Between the three of us hunting, we covered more than 50 miles on foot. We hunted 23 times in 23 different locations for elk. We hunted various elevations from 8,500 to 11,000 foot. We hunted aspens, meadows, dark timbers, deadfalls, marshy area, all the terrain. We saw 14 deer, 2 martens, a coyote, a dead moose, and 3 grouse. But no elk. So here are the lessons learned. We spent the entire hunting season basically scouting. This can be fixed by, well, scouting before the season. It appeared that the elk didn't like to be around all that moose habitat. The more moose sign I saw, the less elk sign I saw. 4th season and 1st season rifle are nothing alike. As a matter of fact, this year, I think if I would have hunted the area like archery season, it would have been more advantageous for us to get an elk than hunting it like 4th rifle. This was the first time I've ever hunted 1st rifle, so brand new experience. We hunted where the elk were not. I purposely tried to get into their bedding areas and spook them just to find them after the first few hunts we weren't getting into them. And I cover a ton of ground and I couldn't find them, which leads me to believe they just weren't there. And the sign we saw was from before the season, and they probably had got bumped a little further. So if I could do it over again, this is what I'd do. I would make it a priority to do a scouting trip before the season. Whether that was 6 months before the season or 2 weeks before the season, it would have been really cool for me to go do every single trail and drive every single road in the area I was going to be hunting. That would have just changed everything, just to know that. Because I could have even written off 10 of the areas we went to just by being there at any time of the year. Sometimes you just don't know what it's like until you go, so you got to try that. But that was one way we wasted a fair amount of time. Next, I would definitely hunt it like archery season instead of 4th rifle. Those are the 2 seasons I've hunted. And if I would have hunted it more like archery, put a spike camp up about 3 miles in, and hunted that 3 to 9 miles in, I think we would have got to where the elk had been pushed. I now think that a lot of the elk that were in the area were pushed out of the area by all the rifle hunters. Who knows how many we saw, 50 or 60? No, probably more than that when we drove around. But most of those people are walking in probably somewhere between 20 minutes and an hour and hunting those locations. So for us to come to that second location a couple days after opener, I think all the places we went, people had walked through, and we needed to go deeper to find the elk, especially in a very popular public land area like this one. And this is what hunting is actually like when you're going Colorado public land self-guided hunts. You see, guided hunts on private land on ranches, the average success rate is somewhere between 80 and 90% depending on the ranch, with some ranches guarantee a 100% chance of getting a shot off. Whereas on public land, most of these places you have a 2 to 5% chance of success. So when you're going around and you see 20 hunters, know that there's maybe one of them who's going to shoot an elk and nobody else will this year. Statistically, that's what happens. So if you don't enjoy the process of the hunt, and you just want to shoot and kill, this type of hunting's not for you. But if the adventure gets your juices going, and if you like feeling crappy, and then feeling great, and then feeling terrible again, getting super tired, questioning why you're out there, not sure if you're wasting your time, coming home and then wishing you were back out there, so that sounds fun, then hunting elk in the Colorado over-the-counter units might be for you.
No cares worrying me. I got my lady and she got me. Lie down.